I am, as you have heard, Pastor Chika Amadi. I was a councillor at the London Borough of Harrow from 2014 to 2018. And when I stepped, I didn't stand again. And I'm a legal advisor. My job, I am a legal advisor in immigration and also advocate. I represent people in the tribunals. Also, I'm the director of Family Mediation Center that work together with Save the Woman to bring this program. I have my teammates, but some of them are not here today, and they send their greetings. So though my hands are in so many pies, I am passionate about our Black community, about families and children. So you can, at your time, you can find out more of what we do at www.universityofharmony.com, because I love promoting harmony. I love peace in the house. I love peace. So that's the name, that we are Family Mediation Center. Now, how did we come about this course? It was born out of my many years of supporting Black families as a community leader, as a school governor, charity worker, and social advocate. I've seen a lot of institutional racism, as everybody has said, especially Councillor Nana. This is something she's so passionate about. At every level, she's always fighting against it. And it's on all of us to raise our voices wherever we find ourselves. So when, after supporting parents, like when people have child protection conferences with local authorities, I was supporting individuals, I was supporting families. But a time came when I got in touch with Brother Ola, I discovered that it was not just enough to fight for individual families to return the children back or to stop them being taken away. I discovered that the best thing we do is to arm and empower ourselves, our Black community. We can no longer wait for people to treat us well. We have to empower ourselves to let them know that we know what we are doing. We are not to be taken as second-class people. So that was how I came about the curriculum. I did a lot of research. I did other courses apart from law and history. My first degree was in history. So to prepare myself for this. And I'm so glad that it has been received. A lot of families have benefited. Some children have been returned. Some of them have been stopped from being taken from their families. So I am so glad, and I want to challenge you as you participate today, tomorrow, next Saturday, and next Sunday. Please let other people hear about it. Also, in your little big or your big way, please stand up for what we Blacks stand up for. Naturally, we are good parents, but as we said, we are in a new environment. So we can all agree that parenting is a wonderful responsibility, but at times it is demanding. It is demanding. And I want to praise every parent here. You have done very well. This course is not to make you feel that you didn't do very well, that you're a bad parent. No, it's just to put a gloss to what you are doing. So I celebrate you as a parent, as a carer, as a guardian, whatever you do for the well-being of children, whether you're a teacher, whatever you are, I celebrate you. So, and a lot of you amazing parents, in one way or the other, like Dr. Shola says something, at times we fall short of the expectation of the society where we are. Some of us bring our baggage from how we were trained. Some of us from our backgrounds, Africa or Caribbean, we witnessed a lot of things. We saw parents who loved us, but they were high-handed at times. We never had their ears at times. We never had a voice. Some of us were not respected. Some people were chastised and disciplined in a harsh way. And so some of us kind of bring it in. And yes, we are providing everything the children need. We provide accommodation, we provide clothing, we provide all sorts of things, but emotionally, we are not connected to them. And so they are looking for love outside. And that is why I always say, we as parents must raise ourselves first for us to raise children who are sound-minded, children who are balanced, children, global children. You know, we Blacks, we are not just raising Black children, we are raising global children, children that will rule their generation. These are the children we are raising. And so we have to empower them from home. So that is why we are doing all this. So, where you have come short, I think it's Dr. Shola again that said it's a time to tell ourselves the truth, where we reappraise our parenting skills. Is there a place where we have fallen short? What can we do? Because one of the problems, I have met one or two parents who we invited to join this class. They said, wow, nobody can teach me how to bring up my children. I know what I'm doing. We say, you know what you're doing, but there are certain things you don't know. There are certain things you don't know, especially when we are in this country. So this is where we come in. We are here to encourage you, remind you, and flag up such sensitive blind spots. There are blind spots that we keep the local authority off your back. Because you may be doing very well, maybe just a little slip. Then the social services, local authority can intervene. It doesn't mean that you're a bad parent, but it may be a little mistake. So it is about, this course is about raising your integrity as a parent. It's about raising your integrity as a parent, because you must be raised, you must be able to get your acts together. You cannot give what you do not have. It's also about self-awareness and awareness of the requirement of the environment where we are. It's about attaining a level of stable mentality. I mean, stable mental and emotional health. Personally, as a parent, it's about us learning how to attain that balance and stability emotionally and mentally, where our challenges, our circumstances, our relationship do not dictate what our children see. You know, it's not just what we tell the children to do, but it's what they witness us do. You know, we Africans at times we're on the phone screaming and screaming, and the children are not even aware why you're screaming. And we don't know that that puts them under pressure because they don't know what is wrong. At times we are quarreling over the phone. At times parents with domestic violence. At times we can't handle our finances. These things have a way of affecting the children. So this course is not just to teach you about parenting or to remind you of things you are supposed to add, but also to help you attain a level or make a deliberate, intentional attempt to attain a level of stable mental and emotional health balance, to ensure you are not passing your stress onto the children. The stress at work, financial stress, spiritual stress, so many, every type of stress. Because one of the issues that affects children is the stress, passed on stress, transmitted stress, indirect acquired stress at home. And of course, some of the children, yes, through trauma. At times, the children will not be able to tell you the impact of what we do on them. You know, so it's also about reconciling your past experiences to ensure you are not taking your struggles and your pain out on the children. It's about reconciling our past, what we have witnessed. Some of us, when we are growing up, wherever we are coming from, wonderful parents, but it was accepted then that if a child does commit certain offense, at times they will put pepper in their eyes. At times they will put in their anus. In the olden days, some of us grew in that kind of circumstance. So whether you like it or not, somehow it has a way of playing out, maybe in a mild way. So we must look at our past, look at the painful memories, look at them and deal with them. Know that we are bringing a different breed of children. Yes, some of us say, yes, those of us that were brought like that, who were flogged, we are strong, we are intelligent. It's not everybody that was flogged that came out strong. It breaks people. It had broken a lot of people. So it's about us reconciling. While we are doing this course, please, I want you to take our time and look at your past and say, what is the negative past I'm bringing into my present parenting? Remember, this course is about looking at our culture, our background, and ensuring that it is reconciled with what we have found ourselves in. There are some practices, whether we agree or not, that today you are no longer proud of. So we don't want to bring it into our parenting. So it's about establishing, bringing that order of intentionally establishing and enjoying emotional connectivity. If there is something I want you to take out, is emotional connectivity. Emotional connectivity is very important. It can be between parents, couples, or with the children. Some of us are good at offering everything, but we do not connect with our children. Some of us don't detect when they are in pain. In fact, some of us, when the children are showing signs of trauma, we get upset. We label the children. We mock them. Some families, it happens like that. So instead of understanding the root of their stress and trauma, you discover that some children are mocked, labeled as attention seeker or something. They are not giving the attention they desire. So it's about us. This course is also to help us Black to de-escalate referrals, to de-escalate it, where referral is about to take place. Because every local authority has a duty of care towards every child in its jurisdiction. Every local authority has a duty of care to every child. Yes, it's your child, it's my child. But the local authority has the power, they have the authority and that duty of care. So at the same time, they have a legal right to intervene where a child or children are in danger of risk of harm. Because at times, yes, local authorities at times they get it right. But because at times we don't get it, we criticize everything. There are times when local authorities have the right to intervene. So we are here to help us to stop that which makes local authority to legally intervene. Somebody's hand is up. Sheriff Ola Sebiko. Yeah, where is it? Okay. I don't think she wants to say something.
No, it's a mistake.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So we have to stop that. We have to de-escalate that referral happening by what we do in our family, in the secret place. That is why we are here, to keep the local authority off our back. So this Afrocentric parenting course, why is it necessary? Some of you have already read it. Some of us have had it already. So, but it is very important as a parent or parents to raise yourself before you raise your children. I cannot emphasize that enough. We must raise ourselves. We must get to that time where we can handle our challenges in such a way that it does not break our children. Some children are bitter today, like what Dr. Shola said, because a mother and father who are supposed to raise them together had a bitter quarrel, bitter divorce, bitter separation, and one person will be feeding the children with all sorts of bitter information about the other person. So you discover that children grow up bitter in their heart. So when they go out, they cause a lot of mayhem on the streets. So this is why we are saying we must raise ourselves to understand some of the underlying things that affect our children that are not very, you may not pick it up just by, hello, how are you, child? How are you, son? No. So that's why we are here again. So as parents, I want to encourage you, raise yourself. If you have struggles with alcoholism or any vice, raise yourself. Come to that level where you are of sound mind. That whenever, I know that we all at one point or the other, we may be affected by mental health issues. That is one thing we Blacks at times we don't agree to. We do not ever believe that we can be affected by mental health issues. We can go from day to day, from one work to the other, from one environment to the other. We are busy. At times we are all flattened out. And we don't even know that that has impact on its own on the children. So let's raise ourselves that whatever your plan, whatever you're pursuing, please know that every step you take in that house, children are watching. It can impact their mental health. If mental health is different from psychiatric problem, a lot of our Black people, we don't know the difference. Once you say mental health, we think of psychiatric problem. So we don't seek for help for ourselves. In churches, in the workplaces, at times, it's a taboo to talk about it. And so we pass it on to the children. So let's get our acts together, resolve our emotional and relationship issues that can affect the children negatively, so that we create a conducive atmosphere for all our children. We must resolve our conflict resolution. How do you resolve your conflict? With your friends, with your spouse, in such a way that it does not indirectly cause mental health problem for the children. It's about creating a loving and conducive atmosphere and environment, such as they have in the school. Have we noticed that at times, if you are a parent that visits your children in school, the environment of the school is quite different, and children come back to another environment. As long as the environment in the school is set, they're respected, their voices are respected. Teacher, when the school, let's say the beginning of the day, the teacher will talk to the children and tell them, this is our program. This is what we are going to be doing. Most of us don't do that. We keep our children in the dark. They don't know when we are going up. Whenever we want, oh, let's go out. And they don't know where they're going to. Let's do this, let's do this. They don't know. So that structure that they have in school, reasonably, we should be able to bring a little bit of that culture and stability in the house, so that the house is not chaotic. Our children should reasonably know what we are doing next. It creates stability in their mind, and also you are empowering them for their tomorrow. So the atmosphere, we are going to get to one of the sessions where we are looking at atmosphere, creating conducive atmosphere, but I want to bring everything in the round, mention everything in the round, just in passing. The atmosphere children grow up in is very important. Let the atmosphere in our homes not be 1,000 miles apart from the atmosphere they have in school. That atmosphere where the teacher talks to them, listen to them. Some of us, we don't even listen to the children. We think that whatever they have to say has no impact, has no meaning. And that is not good for the children. Okay, having said that, one of the best, you can raise the best children who you give them all the chocolates, all the this thing. You cannot raise a globally confident and achieving child. I'm going to tell you that you have failed. Your child should be confident at this time. So Family Mediation Center and Save the Children, Save the Woman are here to help us to learn. I must emphasize it, to emotionally and mentally connect to our children. I have attended conferences or represented families where social workers are involved. One of the problems that social workers and local authority complain about is that even children taken away when they have this contact with their parents and they are watching the parents do not connect with the children. Yes, they are there. They just want to speak to the child. They don't even listen to the child. They don't even observe any changes. So that is why we are laying emphasis. There are a lot of parenting courses everywhere, but we are laying emphasis on emotional connectivity, which will help them when we are connected to our children emotionally and mentally. It makes them feel wanted. It makes them feel respected. And it makes them feel that they are not a nuisance. And also, it helps giving them a voice. Most of our teenagers, all you hear, why some of them, you see them disappear from the house for 1 week, for 3 days. At times, you say, oh, they went to their friend, or did it? No. Some of it is because most of them say that nobody listened to me. We stifle their voices right from childhood. No, we want to change that narrative, where our children's voices are heard and respected. Caroline, you said question. Do you want to ask a question or want something? Is it Caroline Naka something? Caroline, do you want to ask a question? Okay, thank you. So also we want to bring to our parents' knowledge to understand societal expectation, the society where we are. What are the expectations that will help us avoid local authority? As Esther, you put up the main tenets of this course before. I want you to take our time to look at that. I will not go back to that. So today I want us to look at the issue of mental health in children. The issue of mental health, it is very fundamental. Why is it that a child that you, as a parent, you gave breakfast, you prepared them, and when they get to school, a teacher now calls you and says, that child, something is wrong, the child is moody, the child is not participating, the child is this, the child is that. What is it you did not do? How come as a mother, as a father, you did not pick it up until they went to school? That is what we are talking about, because we have rushed, dressed them up, giving them food, and we think, we clap ourselves, we have done the best. Meanwhile, that child may have a need. That child may have something bothering them. So when they go to school, when they get into the class, they will not participate. Dr. Velma, you want to say something?
It is just forgive me for bringing this up before you move on and we forget. It is actually African Caribbean. I don't know if there's anybody else from the Caribbean on this call, but Afro, I don't want to be pedantic with language. Afro is hair. So please, if that could be changed to African Caribbean. Thank you and apologies for interrupting.
No, that's awesome, doctor. That's awesome. At Family Mediation Center, what we call it is African Caribbean Parenting Skills Course. But Save the Woman, to bridge the long terminology, decided to make it Africentric, because even Caribbeans, we are all Africans, isn't it? Absolutely. So you're our family. So absolutely. It's not actually wrong.
It's only that everybody needs to be told. I do this a lot. Afro is only ever the hair. You know, we are termed, everybody wants to call us different names as such, but it is important, however long it is on the title, that people are aware of this. Please. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have taken note of that. Esther, Brother Ola, take note of that. African Caribbean Parenting Skills Course. Amen. Thank you. Well, some of the issues we are going to be looking at is issue of neglect, chastisement, domestic violence, cruelty, lack of understanding of mental health issues, cultural issues and beliefs, like female genital mutilation, lack of understanding, and that connection, emotional connection. Teaching children to understand our family values, our African values. So now let's go over to mental health. Mental health and family. How many of us until today believe that children also suffer mental health issues? How many of us parents, please raise your hand. If you ever, before today, you believe that children also go through mental health challenges, that you have looked at your children and you discover that yes, this one or that one was mental health issue. Not just that the child was naughty, not that the child was just a nuisance. Thank you. I can see those who have raised their hands. Thank you, Funke, and Chido, Tomilala, Akum. Yes. So mental health issues can affect anybody. And in our African community, we want to raise it. We want people to be aware of it. That it is not a taboo. It's something that can be treated. But it's important that we detect it. It can affect adults, it can affect children. It is different from psychiatric problem. Can somebody help us there? What's the difference between, maybe doctor, what's the difference between psychiatric problem and mental health issues?
You're giving me a tough question to respond to. Well, let me use maybe an example will help me to be able to differentiate. Yeah. I mean, I deal with university students, and we know that even our students, especially first year in this lockdown, they have faced a lot of, mental health issue. Sometimes we don't want to call it mental health. They might call it well-being, but we know that they are going through, their mind is going through a lot. I think if you compare that to psychiatry, that is different. Psychiatry is it's the next level, higher level. When maybe their mind is disorientated, there is serious confusion, and they might need, serious diagnosis, for high level, treatment. I think at the mental health, it could be, cognition, it could be cognitive issues, it could be social, it could be, like the lockdown is playing in our minds in different ways. Some people have maybe sleep disorder, some people, it might affect, even their socialization, not being able to connect, because we're all in isolation. So I think, that the two are quite different, definitely. I hope that helps a bit.
Sure, yeah. You are very, very correct. Sorry, Councillor Nana raised something that it's Africentric, actually. It's Afri, not Afro. Because when we say Afro, people connect it to the hair. And I also understand that not everybody in the Caribbean has African background. So I correct myself on that. Councillor Favor, as this is your specialist area, can you, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Pastor Chika. I wanted to say that whether it's psychiatric or not psychiatric, everything comes under mental health. Okay. The only difference is all of us are in a continuum. We call it mental health continuum. So if you like draw a straight line, put it like 0 to 10. So some people are towards 10, some people are towards 0, and some people are in the middle. So in our kind of work, we say if you are above clinical threshold, then you will be assessed and you have diagnosis. But everybody is on that spectrum, including me and you, and everyone here. So that spectrum is maybe you're feeling okay, maybe you're not feeling very okay, or you really, really, you are deluded, you have delusion, or you are clearly psychotic on the other end. You've lost touch to reality. So, so all of it is mental health, regardless of how you look at it. But the cutoff point is when it is within clinical threshold and when it's below clinical threshold. So when it is above that threshold, when we do the assessments, then you will have a diagnosis by a psychiatrist. So it's only a psychiatrist that will give a diagnosis. So if you say, for example, sleeping disorder, once you put the word disorder, it means that you have a diagnosis. And it's only a psychiatrist that can give that diagnosis. But if we say you have sleeping problem, it's not a diagnosis, so you are below clinical threshold. So say, for example, you have you're experiencing low mood, you're a little bit anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed and all that. It's still mental health, but a mental health problem or difficulty, but they are not yet disorders. They can be managed with therapy at primary care level, with a little medication and all that. But once it's diagnosed as depression, as personality disorder, social anxiety disorder, that disorder, it's got to the psychiatric condition. But regardless of the condition, people do recover and still live meaningful life. That's the last thing I want to say.
Thank you so much, Councillor. Thank you. That's very deep and very professional. And yeah, I will say it in a very a layman's language, that a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities and can no longer cope with the normal stresses of life. Mental health issue, as a doctor said, as a counselor said now, is a lower level of psychiatric problem. Psychiatric problem is only diagnosed by the doctor. It's only the doctor that can diagnose somebody as having a psychiatric problem. That means mental, it's kind of I think in Africa we call it insanity. But mental health issue is that state where, as a person or somebody observes you, in which you discover that your own abilities can no longer cope with the normal stresses of life that you are going through. You can no longer cope, you can no longer work productively and fruitfully, and you are unable to make a contribution to your community or your family. That is the totality of your emotion, psychology, and well-being is kind of disbalanced. I'll give you an example. Some time ago, a mother had a relationship problem, and she was still doing everything very well, but you discover in the morning, she will lie in. She doesn't want to wake up. She doesn't want to stand up to make prepare breakfast for the child. And the child will still say, oh, mom, okay, I'm going to school, give her a peg. And she thought the child was happy until something happened and social workers came in. The child said, look, my mother is unwell. She doesn't, in the morning, she doesn't even know how I wake up. She doesn't even know how I go to school. She was so shocked that the child testified against her because she never knew that she was going through a mental health problem until that matter arose. So there are times when we are so drained, we are so confused, we can no longer put a tab on the things you used to do before. It has a way of impacting the children. Yeah, as we are talking about mental health in children, we are trying to define what the mental health is, the difference between mental health and psychological problem. So we also talked about it. I also want to bring it or wrap it up by saying that mental health problem is internalizing and externalizing behaviors associated with anxiety. Noticing, taking interest in your children to notice there are some trauma, there are some anxiety, hyperactivity, conduct, and social behaviors that are internalized by the children. Some of them, they exhibit them. So at times they are not able to find out the internal one because they don't tell you. So it will take you to be an observant parent, an aware parent, so for you to notice that. And there are so many, we are going to be looking at who can be affected by this. the signs and symptoms of mental health. And I want us to be real. You may not mention your name, you may not mention who is involved, but as you go this night, think about it. Have I observed this somewhere? Did I go to somewhere I have a child and the mother did not observe it? Or have you ever observed that, okay, there is this behavior in my child which was unusual? And we are going to look at that again tomorrow, the symptoms and the signs of mental health at a child. We are also going to look at triggers, risk factors that can instigate mental health problem in children. We are also going to look at the intervention and support. And also, when is it the right time for us to refer to professionals like our doctor said, the NHS Child and Adult Mental Health Services for young people. Then how do we promote good mental health for the children in your family and for yourself? It's very important that you raise yourself, understand when there is a mental health issue that you may be going through, and how do you solve it? What do you do? Then also for us to arm you to detect when there is a symptom, and what do you do? How do we do? How do we solve it? How do we help the children? Because if we don't deal with them, unfortunately, this can expose the children to the social workers. And as Councillor Favor is here, almost every school now have an assigned and employed social worker. So every little discussion children have, the social workers listen to them. It comes to their table. It comes to their table. They also observe your children when they're in the playground, their performance in class. You see a child running under the table, maybe playing, thinking they are playing and hiding under the table. The social worker may give a label to it and say that there is something wrong. So we are going to be looking at all this in the rounds. Then when we finish for tomorrow, I hope we'll be able to finish on mental health. The second module will be My Family and I. My Family and I, the objective is building self-esteem as Black children, for our children and our own selves. Because I was discussing with a parent, one of the things, even when my children were young, is that at times teachers treat you. They don't even know your level of academics. They don't know your level of achievement. But once you are a parent, they talk to you as if you know nothing. So we are going to be looking at helping us to build our confidence so that we're able to, when we go to the school, we're able to give credible voice that is respected. We are able to take up positions as a parent governors and other areas. So the objective of My Family and I also is understanding children's behavior, listening skills, effective communication skills, positive discipline. Positive discipline. We have discipline, but you mirror yourself. Is your discipline skill positive, or is it demoralizing for the children? We are going to be looking at that. We are also going to be looking at dealing with feelings and setting limits and boundaries. Then the third one, we're going to be looking at creating conducive atmosphere for the children. So there are so many things involved in that. We look at family finance, settling conflict, work ethics, and impact on children, playing and praying together, independence. So there are so many things involved on the third one. And yeah, so get ready tomorrow. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be incisive. It's going to be empowering. Thank you so very much for this evening, Esther.
To just say briefly that I know we've had difficult and different experiences from social workers. I'm not trying to defend my profession. I'm a social worker by profession, but I wanted to say that there are also always two sides of the coin, and we need to take that into consideration. Hopefully my insights of being a social worker will be helpful for us to understand the other side of that coin as well, while we are experiencing the other side of it, so that we can both come together to see a way forward on both sides of that coin. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Esther. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Councillor. Yes, we said it earlier that local authority have the right and the duty of care towards children, and also have the right to intervene. And most of them are genuine, and some of them are they get their jobs. All right. But we're not here to appraise the social workers, whether they're doing a good job or not. We're just here to empower ourselves so that they don't even intervene at all in our families. So I just wanted to bring perspective to that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's almost like a question and answer now. Pastor Chika is not trying to scare us. I remember the first time I came to this program, I was like, oh, they're watching everything. They have their eyes in everything. Oh my God, I can't sleep. I must watch my children. Somebody's going to take them away. And I spoke to a social worker who's also an African, who's also a pastor. She told me, no, relax. No one is trying to take your kids from you, but what they're trying to do is make you a better parent. And if they say to you, okay, fire burns, doesn't mean that you should, every time you shouldn't cook with fire. Say fire burns, don't cook with fire. Don't go near, you know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that, Councillor Favor. And thank you for the response, Pastor Chika. We also have Auntie Caroline's hand is up, Dr. Shola's hand is up. I think that was the one that was up first. So Dr. Shola, followed by Dr. Welma, if that's right. Then Auntie Caroline, you've been fed. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Should I call you lawyer, everything, lawyer Chika? You know, that was very, very inspirational and insightful, you know, for me. I wish I can attend tomorrow. I wanted to ask, what time is it holding tomorrow? The program tomorrow?
Esther.
Yeah, it's back-to-back course, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, and same thing on Saturday next week and Sunday. So that will be the complete module. For you to have a certificate for this course, you have to attend the 4 modules and also submit your case study work as an assessment.
Okay. Yes, like what Brother Ola said, a lot of local authorities are acknowledging what we're doing here, and they ask for reports. If a parent is having any conferences or any issues with local authority, they request for reports. So I want to let you know that we encourage you to attend the whole 4. If you miss one, God forbid, we are not wishing anybody to have any issues, we will not be able to write any reports because we are not sure if you learned what was taught. So because we have to defend ourselves. Because most times when they request for that report, they also want us to be part of that conference. So we should be able to defend what we have taught, that you participated fully. Please do participate fully. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Esther, go ahead.
Yes, we also have Dr. Welma. Dr. Welma, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
All right, Ma, you have the floor.
Yes, I just want to point out to my sister Chika that I have worked in social services at the hard end of child protection, the child protection unit. I want to inform you that not all social workers have our children's best interest at heart. So it's very important that you're equally, the social workers should be having competency training to deal with our families. And we also need to understand, I mean, I taught many social workers in conferences, be it physical chastisement, be it FGM, be it forced marriage. I've been reported many times because they say, which side are you on? Because I'm fighting on behalf of the community, although I'm in social services. So please understand, however much social services want to engage with your group, they do so in the sense that you need to ensure they are equally providing frontline staff with cultural competency training. And only when you feel they are trusted should you really be engaging, because they need to be seen to be working with the community. But it is very important that they're not working to get information. Yes. So at all times, please ensure they have cultural competency training to engage with your group. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. I want to assure you, Brother Ola, and myself, and other people like Councillor Nana said earlier on, that we do not just stop at this training. We support parents. So we also discussing and reaching out to the councillors, to the leaders of councils, the children's departments, raising up the issues of institutional racism, bias, and all that. We are also doing that. We are also encouraging them, the local authorities, to train the social workers in issues of diversity. It's very important. We are pushing it. And it will be good if all of us go ahead doing that in our own little corners. Our councillor favor. So if there is a place among the social workers that you can also raise it, it will be very important, so that parents are respected, our culture is respected and understood. We are not misinterpreted and misrepresented. Thank you.
We have in the curriculum of social work now, because I'm also a practice educator for social workers. So we have in the curriculum now, cultural competence, and equality and diversity and unconscious bias as part of the curriculum now. So I am a practice educator. I assess students on that as well. But having said that, it's just unfortunate that the core function of a social worker, we in social model, we call it care and control. We have two core functions, care and control. Those are the two sides of the coin I was referring to. But it's just unfortunate that the one that comes out most of the time is the control one and not the care one. So it's always a dilemma to balance the two, because we're there primarily to function on the care model, not necessarily on the control function. But because we're also agents of the states, so we function on the control function, but the primary focus of a social worker is on the care model. And this is what I was trying to say, but we just didn't want to take our time then. That when we see social workers, it's not just to intervene to take away children when they're at risk. We're actually trained more on the care model to prevent intervention itself, because intervention is crisis management. That's not what we are meant to be doing predominantly. We are predominantly supposed to bring resilience to families and children and young people rather than intervene, because it's costly to intervene, let's be honest. It's costly in the life of the young people, it's costly in the life of the parents, it's costly in the community, it's costing the government a lot, because you can imagine what it takes the courts and the barristers and everyone when we go through child care proceedings. It's not cheap, it's not cheap for anyone, and it's not convenient for anyone involved either. It could damage so many things in the process. So if we can build resilience and function more in our care model, then we will avoid all that. That is the main reason. And also social workers, we're not only for children, we're for the entire family. So, but most of the time we're only seen on that side. We work with elderly, we work with people in mental health, we work with youth justice, we work with the entire family and the entire community. But people only see us from the other care control function, because we're exerting the power of the state on that function. I'm really sorry that it comes across that way, but that's not how we're trained. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sit down here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Esther, can I just come in 1 minute, please?
Of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Just before I did my final closing remark, I just want to make a point clear within that area, the importance of social work. The local authority are meant to promote the welfare-based.
on the meeting.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Is someone coming? Is someone say something?
No, just some. Sorry.
Okay, like I was saying, the local authority, they are meant to safeguard, to promote welfare, well-being of family, for children to thrive and to stay safe at home. But from the experience and from a couple of work we've done so far since 2019, we need to realize if a referral is being made to local authority, the problem is what are the level of those referrals? Is there anyone checkmate it? Are they made in good faith? Just within the 2 weeks now, we've safely protected 4 children from taking through the stress of child protection plan due to a racially motivated referral from the school. Just because parents make a complaint of not treating their child well, of bullying their child, of calling their children names, sort of Afrophobia names. And those schools, they now went ahead, make a referral that children say this, children say that, and asking leading questions. So we are working in partnership with local authority now, with a lot of referral from Manchester, Newcastle. There are a lot of social workers that are referring students now. On this course, particularly one now, we are having some parents that are already with local authority. They are working with them now. They refer them for this course. So one of the problem now is over 63% of referral are coming from schools. So we need to let the local authority know. They need to check all those referrals, verify, investigate thoroughly if they are being made in good faith, because it's costing government a lot of money. Just 2019, 9.96 billion pounds were spent on children in care. And some of the cases we dealt with, the particular case that started this course, is about a parent that was racially motivated, reported to school by the school to the local authority, and at the end of the day, the school were the one fostering these children. It's a conflict of interest. They lobby to foster these children when they are the one that made a referral. So there's a conflict of interest in referral making to local authority. Local authorities are doing their job because this is a safeguarding issue. But we need to work along with them to let them know, check where those information are coming from. Are they part of systemic racism, discrimination from schools? And all our parents don't attend any meeting with any of this agency without having a support advocacy. You need to look for a community advocate, an activist, human rights, well-experienced social worker that is culturally competent to support you in any meeting. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me add to this, Raala, thank you so much for that. That's so true. Another issue is, like Councillor Favor said, that social workers are meant to support everybody. But by my experience, the social workers just focus on the children, and the fact that it becomes their voice against the parents. There's no support at all for parents. Rather, every step of the parents are used against them. Especially, so this is my observation. So those things need to be addressed. Thank you. Esther, where are you? Cam, your hand has been up for a long time. Can we see your face?
Yes, I'm right here because I've had some encounters with social services, and well, every encounter is different. So there's one that was really a blessing to my family. She put me through a parenting course, but it was not Africentric. And there's another one because of medicine. My daughter had to take some medicine, and I was like, I beg you, don't put this on us. And the lady just turned up at my door. I did not expect her, so I really let her have it. By the time I finished speaking to her, she said, don't get worked up. Your children might be affected. Don't get worked up. And she never came again. So me, I know how to give help to when people need it, especially when my inalienable rights have been interfered with. She came without permission, without... Anyway, that's maybe as we go in deeper, we'll talk about addressing. But like we were saying, it's more important that we prevent rather than try to cure. That's why we're getting educated now.
Yes.
For those of us who are on the course. Thank you so much, Ma. Caroline, your hand has been up for ages. Well done for your patience. Would you like to tender your question or comment, please?
Yeah, it's question. Thank you very much. In fact, this course is for me. We living in Manchester and we came new. Esther, stop laughing.
Sorry, Auntie Caroline. There's two Carolines. I was saying that one is talking, not the one I was trying to call. But I think you have two devices.
Yeah, I have two, but one is not working. My laptop has the issue. So
okay,
I'm not using.
My apologies.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Since we arrived to UK, it's a lot of challenges. And when I arrived, I had a baby, 1 year and 4 months. And each time I cried, because I used to tie my baby at the back, and they used to tell me that they will take my baby. So the thing now got to me. Each step I make, I hear they will take my baby. From that time, I developed something like mental health. I cannot help myself again until one day, one man saw me and talked to me. You know, since that time, I stopped hearing that. That is by the way. Now, the issue I have now is this social worker and health visitor. At times when they come, they will like be asking you, you know, using one question, asking you on top. This is one question, but they will divide it into 20, get you confused. If I try to put weight in your mouth, like they explain that mommy has said now. In fact, you've given me morale. Each time they come, self, if I like, I answer. If I don't like, I will not answer. How can you ask a grown-up full-fledged woman one question and you go the other way, ask the same question? What are you trying to bring out? Like a woman that have 9 months pregnancy will not take care of the baby. I see the child looking healthy and you're still asking, does he do this? Does he do that? Are you not seeing it? What are you trying to make? Because I'm new, I don't know what I will say. Let it not be I've offended the Onyocha. You know, the thing now get me. I don't know what I would say. Is that aggressive or being fearful or being too quiet? Or in fact, I don't know. At times, this time I hear they are coming. Like now, they are coming on Tuesday. But today, since today, I've been having headache. Headache is that, what are they coming to do? I've been telling them that we need a house. We've been processing a house. We've not gotten. They'll tell me, go and check this website. You will not help somebody in the immediate problem. All you will help that person is to force words into the person's mouth to tell you that the baby is not feeding well. But you see the babies, they are looking good. They are well, looking after. They don't lack food. The mother is very much healthy and trying at her own best to take care of the babies. Now, you tell them that my baby needs to start school because I heard that we have pre-nursery. She came back and told me that we are not eligible. And you come back again and start telling me that, what about this? What about that? Whereas you know my exact problem now, I need this baby to be in school. When she is in school, she'll be able to speak when others are speaking. She'll be able to count 1, 2, 3 when others of her mates are counting 1, 2, 3. She'll be able to name colors at the same time range. You will not help me, or you come back to tell me that she's not eligible. Whereas I have heard someone telling me that, call them. When you call them, especially we that are blacks and we that are new to the country, they'll just tell us that we are not eligible. And they'll also call you again. Another person will call you. Yeah, I heard that Destiny is 2 years plus. Yeah, she's supposed to start pre-nursery. Why is she not in school? She's one of them, or she start asking me another question. I don't know. Is it to tell the person the same thing I told the first one? This thing just be giving me headache front and back. My dear people, please, choke mouth on my mouth. Tell me what to say. Mommy, pastor.
Auntie Caroline.
Yes, ma'am.
Auntie Caroline, before you come into Pastor Chika, 1 second, please. I'll crave your indulgence, family. We would like our CEO or founder of Save Woman to give his closing remarks and officially close the meeting. However, if you still have questions and you're happy to stay, you're more than welcome to. But just because we don't want to disrespect you and just take over your time without undue acknowledgement, we want to invite the person of Olalekan Odedeyin, Save the Woman's founder and CEO, my beloved brother and friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all the director of Save the Woman. Thank you to all the volunteers at Save the Woman. Thank you to our partners, TM and C. Thank you to every one of you here, particularly Family Mediation Center. And Course 201 is coming up. And interestingly, we have somebody in the house that is going to anchor that Course 201 for us. So we'll put out the date soon. And don't forget the criteria for you to do 201, you must do 101. So when you are inviting people, when you are telling people to do Africentric, let them know they need to do 101 before they go to 201. So it is time for them now to enroll for 101 before we kick off with 201. Having said that, I will say thank you to all our guest speakers today, particularly my mom, Auntie Nana Asante. God bless you. I want to dedicate this closing remarks to a particular family. The family find herself in a mess when the school said the child made a disclosure that the mommy beat her because she messed up a room. And for the last 3 years, they have taken these children, the child with her sibling, because a child messed up a room and the mommy beat the child. Now we campaign, we demonstrate, none of this happened, no changes. We call for independent investigation. The local authority, they remain silent. On this note, I want to beg you, I need all the parents here. If you can join us in Middlesbrough, we will be planning a demonstration. We want it to be a massive one because we went back to court for this mother to have her child back, her children back. And just this week, the social worker and the local authority, they said they are not going to give the children back to the mother. They are looking for permanency fostering. Why? They said they agree the mother has done parenting course, but in the past, historically, she was against the local authority. Historically, she did not listen to them. She's aggressive, she's this, she's that. And also, where the children are in the last 3 years, the placement has not been going well. They've changed placement like 2-3 times, and they want to change another placement now. And all the social worker, the foster parents, they are struggling. It's in their report that they are struggling, but the local authority said they are going to support them. And not only that, they are going to make sure the agency that is fostering, supporting the workers as well. They want to support foster parents, but they don't want to support mother. So we are telling them, we need these children back because the mother has done the necessary thing. We can see the changes in the mother. We can testify. But because of systemic racism in the system, they're ready to spend thousands of pounds for foster parents, but they don't want to support family. Pastor Chika mentioned, they always focus on children. They forgot that children is part of a family. They're supposed to support the children and the families. So we are begging you, possibly during the half term, we are going to do a massive demonstration. We need your support to rock Middlesbrough Council, to let them know enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need our children back to where they're supposed to be. Research says birth family is the best place to raise a child. We are begging together Middlesbrough and Cleveland because we know they have more voice. They are there before Save Human arrive, and they can do better. They have strong executive team that can come to the aid of these parents, because there are a lot of families that continuously being discriminated. They are making a lot of malicious referral to local authority, but local authority does not care to look into that. And we don't have any single African as a member of council, as a senior public servant, as elected leader, no representation. Please, we need your support. I will say thank you for joining us. For those of you, please don't forget tomorrow, come on time. By 5 minutes before 4 p.m., we will make this Zoom open. We look forward to see you. God bless you all.
We'll see you all.
So if anyone wants to have a question, we stay back here. We still have some hands up there.
But for now, we've officially closed. We've officially closed the session. How we normally close out, we do drum roll. And I shout,
ONE, please, can I ask that we don't forget our sister Caroline?
Oh, we have not forgotten
the plea that she made. I think that's the reason this kind of forum exists.
Absolutely.
We shouldn't
not forgotten her.
Forget her, and we should wait a moment if she wants to get support.
Yes, Auntie Caroline, don't you go anywhere. We're going to talk about your question and deal with it right now. But for those of you who have just honored our invitation, maybe you're a goodwill message person, and you would like to take your leave, you're very free to do that. Before we go, we usually just do a little bit of a drum roll. We make a noise. We say, what do we normally say?
Africentric poetic cause, follower, we did.
Thank you so much, Ola, to the rescue. For those who don't know, yes, for those of you who don't know what happened, I'll put it in the chat. We say Africentric parenting calls 101. That's a call and a response. So I say that, then everybody just echo, we did here, because we're Africans, right? We're Africans, right? Hey! Yes. Thank you, guys. We love you. Over to you, Pastor Chika. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Before I invite the people that raised their hands, I just want to also ask you, Esther and Brother Ola, the petition, because this issue is not just limited to Middlesbrough. It's nationwide, especially outside M1. So we need more people to sign the petition. If we get enough signatures, when we go as a group to number 10, Downing Street, to present it, so that if there's a change in the rule, it will affect every borough, every council will benefit from it. So please, I don't know if there's a way you can put it up for people to sign the petition. Now, having said that, can I invite Cam? Your hand has been up for a long time. Cam.
Auntie, do you want to address Auntie?
Hello. I'm here. Thank you. I work on a weekend sometimes, and I see that you're giving credit for attending the course. And I came late today because I was working. But tomorrow I'm working again, and therefore I will be late. Can I still get credit for attending the course?
Brother Ola.
Yeah, thank you. If there's any module you missed, we can arrange one-to-one with you, but that might cost you a donation.
Thank you, Biko. Thank you.
Okay, can we hear from Comfort, please? Hello, Comfort, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm glad to be your meet today. Although this is my first time here, so I'm very, very happy because to see Black people, even though there's some people among us that they leave their job, they still create time to support women. So it's amazing. It's amazing for me. Even although I'm here in Scotland, so we connect through our brother Elalekon, and he has been a good brother to us. My concern and my question is they took away my 3 children last year, 21st August, and we have been there In fact, the local authority show us hell. They show us hell. It has been a battle. I cannot eat. Through that December, me and my husband, we are going from court. We don't know what to do. And I was even thinking that if this organization can be in Scotland, it will be very, very great. Because even I'm going to make it to, if the Bralale can come, I don't know how it's going to be. I'm just saying it. This is my concern. If they can bring this to Scotland, because Scotland polity is based on law, is a little bit different than England. So even as we joy, I was even having a concern that I think this is in Scotland, but if we have a certificate now, are they going to recognize it here? So that's my concern. So, but my question is, when they took away my 3 children, it has been a horrible battle because the local authority are not really doing their job at all. I was so disappointed because when we moved from England to here, we live in England, Gloucestershire in England. So, but the social worker, they work with me when I had my baby, so they are very good. So now that we're relocated here in Scotland, the local authority that is in my area, oh my goodness. If I hear somebody that is a social worker, I will run away from them. I will run away because this lady worked like Satan. That the heart is, it's not a human being that is working the way she worked with us. So, and it has been a horrible experience for me and my family. Even my children are crying to come back. They say no, they are confused. They can't come back. As a result, because of they saw mark of eczema, stubborn eczema, this chicken pox, and my first son is an autism patient, so he don't allow me to cut his nail. So when they are fighting for toy with his brother, he gave them mark. So all these mark, when they go to school, maybe during the sport, they normally fall down and they have mark. All this mark, they say is a big case for me and my family. Now it has been a court. In fact, I cannot eat. I wanted to develop ulcer, dying, but when I met God, and God led me to Bralale through somebody in my church, and it has been peace. I can just cook. The day I spoke to him, he gave me encouragement to and now cook. So please, in the area of mark in our children, because black mark don't go. Although we met a mother a woman in Manchester, she's taking us a parenting call, but it's not really enough. When I spoke to one of our social worker that is supporting, just a sister as well, like you people. So she spoke to us yesterday, and I now knew that there is a difference between Scotland rules and England. So I don't know this certificate it's going to be accredited here for us because I don't know what we can do. So now we don't know, maybe we are going to look for lawyer in here. They say we should go and look for strong lawyer because our case based on the mark, and we don't put this mark in our children.
Sister Comfort, can I just say one thing?
Okay.
Please remember that Save the Woman is here to support you.
Okay.
Whether the laws, yes, the laws in Scotland are different from England and Wales. However, you've got sisters here, and my son and my brother Olalekan. We are here to look at the matter. So we've got Pastor Chika, we've got Councillor Favor, we've got Dr. Velma. Dr. Velma has worked in Scotland, and because I want us to get through all the people whose hands are up, let us even, you know what? One of the things is. Pastor Chika, when she's talking, she's giving us so much information that we need to sort of, maybe we'll tell Brother Olalekan and Esther, we'll have space for cases where we'll bring people like Dr. Velma, who has worked in Scotland, and we'll deal with those individual cases, sometimes even outside of the meeting. We can have focus groups where peer-to-peer support. If somebody has survived a situation, there's a way of doing it. We cannot solve either Sister Caroline or your problem here, but we have not forgotten. But we need to hear everybody's question. And these things that you are talking about, Scotland, we will make them recognize the certificate. You know, at the end of the day, we're the United Kingdom at the moment until they become an independent country. Yeah. And even when they become an independent country, they recognize each other's certificates. So it is not a problem. The main thing is whether you've gone through the course, you understand the language. And when I say language, it's not English I'm talking about. I'm talking about the language of protection. That is what Pastor Chika, she's so good at telling you. There's a way, there's a mindset that you have to understand. There's a way of answering the questions. There's a way of even explaining. Children hurt themselves, no matter how careful you are as a parent. And that's why we are lucky to have social workers here. Counselor Favor can give us the inside information. We heard from somebody who said there's care and there's protection. And all they are doing is the protect, and they're not looking at the care. We can remind them of their training. That is why we have Pastor Chika. So all I'm saying is that just keep your faith, keep praying. Together, we're going to solve this because none of us like what's happening to our community. No. And we intend to make sure all our children are